Hi, hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Spotify Learn. Today, as I said on 21st of this month, I'll be uploading the video of operating system. I'm uploading the video of the same. Again, we will discuss all the important questions with answer, and I will say what the tricks to remember if anything, and the diagram I'll be explaining. The complete explanation will be given, and for that make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're watching without subscribing, make sure to subscribe and then watch the video. The channel is about to reach the 200 subscribers. I hope you will be a part of it. Next, we will discuss without wasting the further time. If you want the same PDF, you can DM me on Instagram. I'll share it to you. Now, we will discuss about the first question. That is, distinguish between the following terms: multiprogramming and multitasking, multiprocessor system and clustered system. First, we will discuss what is multiprogramming. It is one of the most important aspect of operating system. It is the ability to multi-program. Okay, a single user cannot keep either CPU or the input output devices busy at all the times. If you have CPU and input output device, that both cannot be busy all the time. That is what they are trying to say here. Now, multi-programming increases CPU utilization by organizing jobs so that CPU has one to execute. If you have one CPU, that CPU will do utilization. That means it will increase the utilization. It will not increase the utilization. So that is how they are saying. Here if you see, the operating system is there and job 1, job 2. That means jobs are assigned to it. That means it is organized. And this is the memory layout for the multi-programming system. Next, the operating system, several jobs are shown in figure. Now the set of jobs is a subset of job in job pool. If you have one job pool, one job, one job, one job, these are the subset of this. That is what they are trying to say. Now since the number of jobs that can be kept simultaneous is usually smaller, that can be kept in the job pool. Okay, that is secondary memory, and eventually the job have to wait for input output, and it would sit idle if it is non multi program. And this will help. That is multi means what? Many programs. That is the basic idea here, and this all theory you can go through it. If you want the same PDF, again as I said, you can DM me on Instagram. The whole PDF will be shared to you. Now the multitasking systems, that is called time sharing. Okay, that is a single CPU that executes multiple jobs. Okay, there is a single CPU that will execute multiple jobs. That is the basic idea here, by switching among them. But the switches occur so frequently that the users can interact with each program while it is running. Now the user will feel that all the programs are being executed at the same time. The time sharing requires an interactive, that means while another is there, we can interact with it, computer system which provides direct communication will be there between them, and the user will have instructions to the operating system or to a program directly, that input device such as keyboard, mouse, and it waits for immediate results. And next is multiprocessor system is see, as we said, it is a computer system that have two or more CPU within a single computer, each system sharing main memory and peripherals, and that will be parallel. See, you can see here CPU is there, here GPU is there, and here CPU is there. That is all connected to the memory. That is common memory. Now, next question they had given about multiprocessor, right? Multiprocessor is what, as we studied, it is a having two or more CPU with a single computer. If you see the advantages, this is one of the most important to remember: increased throughput, economy of scale, and increased reliability. These 3 points should be mentioned, and inside that, see, in multiprocessor system means there are multiple processor, right? Multiprocessor means what? Many processor of different program takes place time simultaneously. Now this is due to the overhead incurred keeping all the parts working correctly, and also due to the competition for the shared resources. The speed up ratio with n is not n, it is less than. If you have a speed up ratio n, that will be less than n, that will not be equal to equal. Okay, thus the speed of the system, that it is not expected. What we expected is not there, so it is less than n. And next is economy of scale. That means cost is less, and reliability, if you come, that is if one processor fails, the system is not halted. That means it will not hold, the system is not down, only it slows down. If the job failed processor is taken, the other processor will fail. The two techniques in increased reliability is fault tolerant and graceful degradation. You can go through it. Next is about the cluster system, that is they are the two or more individual systems connected to connected together via network and share software resources. If you take two or more individual systems, they are connected via network, some common network. They will be sharing what resources, that is common software resources. The service will even be if one or more cluster fail, that will be continuing. High availability is generally obtained by sharing a copy of files, that is software resources in the system, and this have mainly two types, that is asymmetric and symmetric. Asymmetric means it is one system that is in hot standby mode while the others are running the application. The hot standby host machine does nothing but monitor the active server. If that server fails, the hot standby host becomes the active. Okay. Symmetric means two or more systems are running the applications, they are monitoring each other. This is more efficient and it uses all the firm, and if any system fail, the job is taken up by the monitoring. Here what it becomes the active. Next is what define operating system, explain the dual mode. This is one of the most repeated, almost in every question paper it will be there, and this definition too. And an operating system is a system software that acts as intermediary between user of a computer and the computer hardware. See, computer and computer hardware, this is the intermediary between the computer and the computer hardware, or you can say or user of a computer and the system hardware, like that. Okay, it is the software that manages the computer hardware. And now if you see the dual mode operation, dual means what? Two modes will be there, user mode and kernel mode. We will see what it is. Okay, you can see this diagram. User process is there, here kernel process. User process will be executing, that will call the system call, and it will return from system call. That means after it calls, it will go to the trap state. That means it will be 0, mode bit will be 0. It will execute it, what it will call, right, that will be executed, then it will return what? The system call. Okay, this is user process, this is kernel process. User process mode bit is 0, and for mode bit is 1, and for kernel it is 0. At system boot time, that is restart time, the hardware starts in kernel mode, that is mode bit is equal to 0. In this mode, the operating system is then loaded and starts user application in user mode. When a trap or interrupt occurs, that means when you have to go back or something like that, the hardware switches from user to kernel. It will switches from user to kernel, and it will change from bit 1 to 0. Thus, whenever the operating system gains of the control of the computer, it is kernel mode. The dual operation, which means protecting the operating system from the errant users from one another. That means they are the from one another. The hardware that will be allowing privileged instructions to be executed only in kernel mode. That is, privileged instruction will be only executed in which mode? Kernel mode. If an attempt is made to execute in user mode, the hardware does not execute the instruction. It will treat it as illegal and it will go, that is trap state, that is dead. Trap is nothing but dead state. And to the operating system, the instruction to switch to user mode is an example of privileged. Okay, initial control is within the operating system. This and all you can go through it. Have mainly explained what are required, you have to write. Okay, next is virtual machine. This is also one of the most repeated of all topics. Okay, you have to study the diagrams in all. Okay, now the fundamental idea behind this virtual machine is the hardware of a single computer that is divided into several different execution environments, that is creating the illusion that separate execution environment, it's running its own private computer. What you understand by this is, here it is a non-virtual, that is non-virtual machine, and here it is a virtual machine. You can see here, this is a hardware is having a virtual machine, implementation will be done. Virtual machine 1, 2 and 3 will be there. It will be a kernel and it will be executing the process will be executed. And one process will be done at the same time in non-virtual. Here three, one or two, that is programming interface. Now if you see the implementation of it, it is most useful. It is difficult to implement. As it is useful, it is difficult to implement. You can provide an exact duplicate of the underlying machine. Remember that underlying machine has two modes, that is user and kernel, as you studied before. And next is it can run in kernel mode since it is a operating system, and it can execute in only user mode. It will run in kernel, it will execute itself in user mode. What are the benefits of this virtual machine? It will be able to share the same hardware and run different execution OS. That is, see, if you have, what they are trying to say here is it will be able to share the same hardware and it will run several different execution environments. Okay, now host system is protected from the virtual machine, and virtual machines are protected from one another. A virus in guest operating system will corrupt that operating system but will not affect the guest, okay, and host. It will not affect the guest and the other host. And if you see, there are resources. Two ways are to share a file and to develop a virtual communication network. And next is the operating system runs and controls the entire machine. Multiple operating system will be there to develop developer system concurrently. Concurrently means repeatedly. And system consolidation is nothing but two or more systems are made to run in a single system. Next, I'll say about the example here. It is a VMware, that is virtual machineware, that is VM. Okay, here it should be VM. Okay. Now it is a most popular commercial application that abstracts Intel, that is 80x86 hardware into isolated virtual machine. The virtualization tools in the user layer on top of the OS. Okay, it is on the top of the OS. They will be running in this tool, believe they are bare hardware, but the fact is that it is running in a user level, not in kernel. And that will have Windows, Linux and all. Now if you see this example, see, you have applications and it is guest operating system. There are three guest operating system: virtual CPU, memory and devices, that is having a virtualization layer that has been connected to host, that is Linux, and that hardware will be what? CPU, memory and the input output devices. Next is explain the layered approach of operating system structure with a supporting diagram. See, now you can see here that what they have given is the layered approach. Okay, there are three basically approach. Now we will discuss only the layered. Layered is number of layers. Okay, each layer rests on layer below it. Okay, layer below it on the service provided by the next lower layer. Lower, okay, if you have like this, next lower layer, bottom layer, that is layer 0, it is the hardware, and the top layer, this is what? Topmost. This is topmost layer. It is the user interface. A typical layer consists of data structure and routine that can be invoked by higher level. And what are the advantages? Means it is simplicity for construction and debugging also. Now these layers are selected because when you use each functions and services, they will be only on lower level. It will simplify what? Debugging and system verification, when you have to verify some of the systems. And next, the layers are debugged one by one by the lowest, from the lowest. If any layer doesn't work, then error is due to the layer only. When it does not execute in particular layer you are checking, if that does not execute here, that means here only error it is there. This will have what? Thus the designer implementation are simple. Okay, now if you have disadvantages, if you see, okay, I'll explain the diagram first. There is a layer 0, layer 1 and up to layer n. This is the user interface. Okay, user will use it, and here it is the hardware, it will be connected to the layers. Now next is the disadvantages. If you see, they are having most appropriately defined as a layer only lower level. We saw right upside lower level, and it is less efficient than other types because it will have only with layer 0 interaction from the top layer. The system call should pass through all the layers, the finally to layer 0, that is from to finally to layer 0, right? But it is not happening here in this case, so that is why you are saying that it is not happening. Next, if you see, I'll erase it. Huh. What are system calls? Brief out its types with illustrations. Okay, this is one of the again repeated question only. System calls provide an interface to the services of the operating system. They are generally written in C or C++, although some are written in assembly level language. And next is when you have one input file will be there, one output file will be there. Okay, see, if you have source file, you have a destination file. See example, you call sequence, that is input name, write the prompt, accept input, acquire output, write the prompt into screen, again accept input, open the input file which you have. If file does not, abort means cancel. Next you create, then again if file exists, again you will have a loop, read it, write, and if it fails you will close it, then you will terminate finally. Now we will see what are the types. Here it comes major 6 types, that is process control, file management, device management, information management, communication and protection. I'll say how to remember. 3 management will come. Okay, you remember as 3 managements are there in this function system call. Okay, 3 managements are what? FDI. Okay, FDI management will do, that is file, device and information. Next, for this process will be controlled and there should be communication between them, and that communication should be protected. That means no one have to communicate it with any other. This is one trick that you can remember for it. Okay, now for process control, end and abort, and load, execute, create process, terminate process, get process attribute, set process attribute, wait for time, wait event, signal event, allocate and free memory, and we will discuss that. End means, that means normal termination means it will end successfully. Abort means what? That means error message and message will be dumped. Okay, load and execute means you will load another program and you will execute it. Create process means you will create a new process, and terminate means you will delete the existing process. And next is wait event and signal event. That means you will wait for an event and another process will signal it. Get or set, get means you will have, that means one ready process is there, means you will get by using the get function, and you will set means for that only you will set. Okay, now wait for time and you will allocate some free memory. Next, if you see about the file management, create file, delete file, open, close, these are the operations that can be performed. Read, write, repositions, and set or get file again. Next you can write these and all, I guess. Next is device management, that means request, device, release. Okay, request means you will only have the request and release will be done. Next is read, write, reposition, again get, set, device attributes will be done. Here see, get, set, file attributes. Okay, here get, set, file attributes. Here as it is device management, it is get or set device attributes. Next you have to see is, here you can see logically attach or detach. That means attach means you will attach, that means you will add it, insert it. Detach means you will delete it, disconnect. Okay, next if you take Unix and MS DOS, you will treat it as what? Device as a file. Okay, now next is information maintenance. Okay, that is, it will have the get or set time data, get or set system data, process, file, device attributes again. Next is communication, will have two major interprocess communication, that is message passing model and another one is shared memory model. Message passing means you will be exchanging the messages. You can create or delete, send or receive, transfer it, attach or detach, and you can client and REST server will be there for reading and writing it. Shared memory means it will be among common memory region. You can share and you can attach, you can process that what it is reading and writing. Synchronization is also responsibility of the process. Next is the last type is about the protection, that is system call provides controlled access to the system resources, ensure that authorized, that is authorized, this word should be mentioned. Next is prevents misuse, and next you can allow temporarily elevated privileges under controlled conditions. There will be some conditions that will be controlled under temporary elevated. Okay, next is one of the repeated, and all of the question paper will have this question for sure. Don't skip this question. What are the services provided by this operating system. Okay, that means there are, see, you will have user and other system programs. You will have GUI, that is graphical user interface, batch, command line, user interface, system calls. What are those? First you will have program execution, input output operations, file, communication, resource allocation, accounting, error detection, protection and security, services, and operating system hardware. Okay, now first you remember as it will have first three, it will have, then only what user interface it will be commonly connected. Next what it will have, system calls, what we studied in the previous question. Now that first what you have to do, execution, then you will give input or output for that, then file system, next is what, communication you will do, next is resource allocation, next you will account it. Okay, you will add and account it. Next is error detection. If there is any error, it will detect. Next, it will protect. That is protection we studied right in system call. That you remember like this. Okay, you have to do some tricks like this to remember the diagrams, because you have to write the diagrams perfectly. If you write the diagrams at least perfectly, the theory is something, if you know about it a bit also, you can fill the pages. Next is user interfaces. That means it will have Windows, KD, and what are the user command line interface means SH, CSH, TCSH and all. Program execution, that means load of a program, input output operations, that is for keyboards, terminals, printers and files, that is input, and output will be provided by the drivers. And file system manipulation means some of the changes that will be made, delete, create, search and list the contents and all. Next if you see, communication, interprocess communication, that will be between processes running on the same processor or between the process running on separate, it may be same or it may be different. Okay, now if you see the error detection, that will be on both hardware and software, errors must be detected and handled appropriately by the OS. Now if you see what are the efficient operations here, resource allocation, accounting, protection and security, as you saw. You will explain this again. Now, what are the types of, the last question in this module is types of computing environments. That is first, traditional computing. Traditional means what? We will say it as old. Okay. Current trend is toward moving, providing more ways to access these computing. Okay, environments. Web technologies are stretching and the boundaries of traditional computing. Companies establish portals, pods and all, which provide web accessibility to the internal servers and network and all. But nowadays it is happening this, but in olden days it was not like that. The fast data connections are happening, that is from home computers, and web pages are being connected to use networks and all. Some homes even have firewalls, that is the to protect their networks. Next, in the later half previous century, there were scarce. That means year before they were either batch or interactive. That is, the batch system or interactive system was there. Today, traditional time sharing, that is, are being used everywhere. The same scheduling technique is still used in workstation and somewhere, but not more. Or a single user operating system, user process, system process, that and all were used previously, but now it is also used. Okay, frequently gets a slice. Okay, now if you see this client to client, what is client to server? That is, you will have a server, it will be connected to a network that will have what, connected to client. This is called client and server connection. Okay, this will be having client, maybe desktop, mobile which you are using, laptop which you may be studying, that and all will be what, client. Peer to peer means what, you remember that will come star will be there, that means it will be shaped in the pentagon. Okay, you can see this, it will be client to client and it will be connected. Web based is, web computing has increased the importance of networking. Devices were not previously networked, now include wired or wireless also access. Okay, now it have faster network accessibility. And this Windows 95 which acted as web clients have involved, that is into Linux and what, Windows, that are two operating systems we are using more. And even Mac is there now, that is used for Apple. and the design of an operating system is a major task. It is important that the goals of the new system will be well defined before the design of the operating system is done. That is, various algorithms and strategies will be used. That is, goals from the basis, okay, for the choice of this. Now again, I hope you got this. For the same PDF, you can DM me on Instagram. Thank you for watching the full video. If you are watching this video till now, you will be almost clear with the first module that what type of questions will be arriving in the exam. No need to worry about or stress about your examinations. You can study as the schedule I have made, and I'll be surely uploading all the videos that I have given in the schedule. Make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Meet you on the next video. Till that, stay tuned.